every evening on the show. This is 90.3 Voice of the People FM. My name is Precious Amy. Welcome to the show. This is the Evening Rush. Oh yes, this is the Evening Rush where we get to bring you, where we get to engage in conversations that you have been all about within the past 72 hours, right? So within the past 72 hours, I'm sure, 72 hours, practically, yes, we've had the Ekweremadu's case. And within the past 72 hours, we've been discussing all the salient issues too. Like, you want me to let you know, right? Okay, like today, like the presidential election petitions, and what the court has said, the fact that they would not tolerate technicalities as they've warned, and also like it's been alleged that concerning May 29th handover, that Tinubu will fix Nigeria with God's help, as allegedly credited to Pastor Adeboye. We'll also get to discuss that. Like also, you may get to hear that as the presidential election tribunal started today. So some of the other petitioners were around. However, the respondent was not around. One of the respondents, because I mean INEC is another respondent, right? Wasn't around. And then the court tells Governor Lalong, you cannot sit in for him. We'll also get to discuss that, have that conversation. And in other words, another conversation, presidential election petition, Atiku tells Tribunal to allow live broadcast of proceedings, even as the court, moves the hearing of his own case to tomorrow. We'll also discuss that. Lagos. And also, court adjourns Peter Obi's petition to Wednesday. And Tribunal postpones hearing of Atiku APM petitions to Tuesday. Yeah, I did say that to you. Okay, so we may also look at the tussle for Senate presidency. As about 72 people so far, 72 ex-senators endorse Akpabio and Barao. Okay, what does that portend, really? We'll get to find out. And another conversation we have here. God chose Tinubu for Nigeria. Labour Party PDP blackmailing Judiciary. Who said this and to whom? As my lecturer would ask when I was in school. And that is by Bayo Onanugadu to you Nigerians, just so you know that. PDP alerts on alleged plot to influence outcome of presidential elections. They want to influence presidential election. The PDP is shouting. That's what they said. This is not me. This is just me saying it in their voice, right? Okay. And then, of course, you get to know that a party called the Action Alliance has withdrawn their petition against the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. These and more conversations we'll be having today. But guess what? On a step-down conversation today, so we'll be having something very interesting, right? So, what do you think about politicians taking their oath in the name of Amadioha, Shongo, Ogun, and the rest of our gods that we have in Africa, instead of the Bible and Quran? Well, this is as suggested by an Ohanese chieftain. We'd also look at that conversation. That will be a step-down conversation. That will be around 8:30 p.m. So you see, as usual, today is fully loaded. So let's get started with the conversations that we have today, shall we? But before I do that, let me quickly tell you that, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have with me in the house, Mr. Darlington. Mr. Darlington. Mr. Darlington, how are you?
I'm okay,
how is everything? Why are you laughing this kind of Chinese laugh that you're laughing?
Diaspora.
Is diaspora you're greeting because you have plenty brothers in the diaspora that are jumping on this conversation.
Before they answer, why didn't you greet them?
It's a good evening, diaspora. So diaspora can hear you. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back to dissect the issues. Stay with us.
The Evening Rush with Precious, featuring sound and informed guests across various sectors that discuss matters arising on Hot Topic Panel.
What was the rate of inflation, and what was the exchange rate?
Intense conversations.
About to join any party or not. Then who will join the one that will bring about
critical analysis.
What is wrong with us 200 million people? We can't even give ourselves.
We sometimes disagree.
When we say our GDP, it's not an oil-dominated.
to agree.
They like,
like what's going on here?
but you caught that game, right?
I saw that.
On Hot Topic Pali, Monday to Friday, 90.3, Voice of the People FM, Lagos. Now you have a voice.
Yes, Lagos, now you do have a voice. This is the only station that gives you the liberty, the freedom to air your thoughts and to ensure that you're heard, right? So let's get started with the conversations that we have today, one at a time and very quickly. So the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, the Presidential Election Petition Court, PEPC, today held its inaugural session, a legal ritual that of course precedes the actual hearing of petitions seeking to nullify the outcome of the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. At the session, a 5-member panel of justices of the Court of Appeal that we hear and determine all the 5 petitions challenging the declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, as the winner of the presidential election were revealed. Now, whereas the panel will be headed by the presiding Justice JP of the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal, Justice Haruna Samani. Other members of the panels are Justice Stephen Ada, PJ, Asaba Division, Justice Monsurat Bolaji Yusuf, Asaba Division, Justice Bolu Okuromo Ugo, Kano Division, as well as Justice Abba Mohammed Ibadan Division. Now, in his opening remarks, the presiding justice, Samani, urged lawyers representing all the petitioners to avoid sensational comments, stressing that the court would not tolerate time-wasting tactics and technicalities. I had to calm down to take that so you understand that the court will not tolerate time-wasting tactics and technicalities. So he said, as we commence hearing of the petitions, let us avoid making sensational comments. Let us consider the safety and interest of the country. That is paramount. Full stop. No comma. In fact, paragraph ends. I move to the next paragraph. So he said, we should avoid unnecessary time-wasting applications and objections so that we can look at substance of the case rather than unnecessary technicalities. It seems to me like we're already starting on a good note, right? I can't tell, maybe by the time you listen to the chorus in the music, that's when you will enjoy the music better instead of listening to stanza 1 and enjoying it. So let's move further. Let us cooperate with each other so that everyone will be satisfied that justice has been done. Hey, I like this part. That is what the presiding judge said. Let us cooperate with each other so that everyone will be satisfied that justice has been done. So you remember the thing about, judgments, people perceiving and feeling that indeed justice has taken place. That's the paramount thing. And that is what he said thereafter. So responding, our lead counsel to the president-elect, Chief Wale or Olanikpekun San, assured the court of the maximum corporation of his team, saying there was need for the matter to be determined without recourse to unnecessary technicalities. Likewise, that of the team of the lawyers representing the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, said same. Even the Labour Party's representative also says so. I guess that all of the lawyers did agree with the honorable judge that indeed they do agree that they would ensure that they oblige to his request of moving on as swift as possible and not delaying anything that has to do with the judgment. I get to you, Mr. Darlington. I see you nodding your head. I know you can't wait to share your thoughts on that, but let's quickly move to the next conversation. So former governor, I need to give people a bit of an outlook of what all the conversations are, so that once you're done analyzing, we can have them jumping on them. Or would you just rather be swift with this?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, former governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, and the chairman of Opportunic Global Fund, Mr. Kola Oyeneyi, have urged the incoming administration to be ready to roll out its sleeves in addressing the challenges of diversity that has eaten into the country. Right? So speaking during the Dari Adiboye Foundation Change and Development Forum themed Good Governance and Accountability at the Redemption Camp, Ogun State, the duo insisted that the theme is very appropriate as leadership drives good governance and strong institutions in every developed part of the world. So you know that the center for this particular topic, this conversation is actually because of what is said to have been said by the General Overseer of the Church. So on his part, the senior personal assistant to the General Overseer of the Church, Pastor Leke Adiboye, said the foundation aimed, okay, he did talk about that, but bottom line, what you may need to hear that he did say that has got tongues speaking is that that the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu will fix Nigeria with God's help by his side, and this is credited to Adiboye, now his son. Right. Okay, so let's move to the next conversation very, very quickly. So now the presidential election petition court sitting in Abuja today barred Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State from standing before it as the representative of the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, the Plateau State governor had immediately the first petition that was lodged against the outcome of the 2023 election, presidential election, was called up, stood up and announced himself as Tinubu's representatives. My lords, my name is Simon Lalong and I am here to represent Tinubu, the governor stated. However, Justice Haruna Samani led a 5-member panel that declined to recognize him as Tinubu's representative. So in response, you cannot represent an individual. Tinubu is not a corporation that would need a representative. The presiding justice held.
Very good.
The particular presiding justice, not his other cool judges. The presiding justice said that you cannot represent an individual. Tinubu is not a corporation or a corporate entity that would need a representative. That is what he said. Now, and then he responded, my lord, in that case, I will represent the All Progressives Congress APC. Governor Long responded. Meanwhile, the court has, of course, you know that the APC is also a respondent. INEC is a respondent, as well as the president-elect Tinubu and Shetima too, right? So meanwhile, the court adjourned further hearing session on the petition that the Labour Party and its candidate Peter Obi has nullified, adjourned their hearing basically to Wednesday. All right, I would also love you to react to that very quickly. Let's move. So Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate has asked the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal for an order permitting the live broadcast of court's ongoing proceedings. So you'd recall that before now, people have been agitating that it would be very okay, it would be nice for Nigerians to be privy of what's happening in the court. Understanding that though we know that courts are always heard, court sessions are always held, are always open to the public, right? But in this case, we know that, the appeal courts, the tribunal court may not contain everyone who's interested in taking part, in the proceedings. So, Mr. Abubakar is challenging, of course, we know the outcome that is challenging. And then he did pray the court that it would be very important, especially at this time that there are lots of technologies and all of that, for the media to bring in their technology to cover the hearing for the purpose of others who may not be present. I'm yet to get a response from the court on that case. Perhaps since his own hearing was even moved till tomorrow, maybe that's when we get a response on that appeal, right? So let's move to the next one. Yeah, we know, we already did tell you that P2B's petition has been postponed till tomorrow. Okay, and Atiku's, postponed to Wednesday, while Atiku's also postponed till tomorrow, right? Okay, so there's this fantastic tussle for Senate presidency, in fact, for the leadership of the 10th Assembly, and it's been ongoing. More interesting is that we hear that there are a team of oppositions who are saying that they also want to contest as the heads of the House, and they believe that they have the number as opposition to succeed. Well, but that's not what I'm here to discuss right now. This news has it that 72 former federal lawmakers on the auspices of non-serving senators of the Second to the Fourth Republics have endorsed the choices of Senator Godswill Akpabio and Senator Jibril Barau as the next Senate President and Deputy Senate President of the 10th National Assembly, respectively. But a group loyal to another Senate presidential aspirant, Good Governance Initiative, GGI, has blasted the former senators for their action, describing it as double standard and undemocratic. Let me end it here. I'd like you to also chime in on that conversation. All right, let's move to our next conversation. Now, the All Progressives Congress APC chieftain, Bayo Onanuga, has accused the Labour Party LP and the People's Democratic Party PDP of blackmailing the judiciary over President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In a statement this Monday morning, Onanuga said, God has plans for Nigeria, and he chose a man who has the best leadership pedigree and espouses the best vision to pilot the affairs from May 29, 2023. So that's what he said. Bottom line, that Peter Obi, the Labour Party, the PDP, and Atiku Abubakar, you just want to blackmail the president-elect unnecessarily, because God has a purpose for Nigeria, and that's why he chose our president-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Lagos, let's get to take your thoughts and get to hear from you, your thoughts and reactions on the conversation. Earlier today, or rather yesterday, the People's Democratic Party raised the alarm over alleged plot by the All Progressives Congress APC to influence the outcome of petitions currently pending before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. So the PDP also alerted on alleged intimidation, harassment, threats, and attacks by APC leaders against youths and eminent personalities for speaking out against APC's planned moves to install a government that does not enjoy the mandate of the majority of Nigerians. Do you think that there is actually someone somewhere trying to scuttle the plan, the judiciary? Right? I do not know. Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, by the way, somewhere in the news, the Action Alliance has withdrawn its petition against the victory of Bola Tinubu, candidate of the All Progressives Congress. So you realize that the party and its presidential candidates have not been in quite good terms, because there's been this contention of you're the right candidate, you're not the right candidate, and all of that. So eventually the party now said today, okay, we know they do again, we know they contest whether the president-elect win or not. We don't leave out in win, carry go. Yeah, all right. So we do not know how many other political parties would be withdrawing their case, but of course we're open to bringing you this conversation when they happen. So Mr. Darlington, let me quickly throw back to you.
Yeah.
So would you like to start from the first conversation?
Why
the
not?
first conversation being president-elect on what the court said. In fact, the presiding court on the presiding justice in the tribunal, what he said about unnecessary technicalities and unnecessary, serene, and moving straight to the point. I'd like to get your reaction on that.
Yeah. Once again, good evening, Lagos. Actually, what the judge said is the right thing, because he is forewarning them. If you check, most of the embarrassing decisions that have been taken in the past by the court is based on this technicality. And I think this particular one, because of the hoopla around it, they wouldn't want such a thing. All I believe is that they must have adopted the front-loading system that is observed in Lagos. Front-loading, you have to bring out the evidence or the facts before the court. Not when we get to the middle of the argument, you will not say, "My Lord, I have this." No, that's what the judge is telling them, so that you not come and say that the judge shut you out, or you were foreclosed, or you were not allowed. So you have all the time and the opportunity to
bring forth all your...
the front-loading system, and it has been helping the judiciary, especially in Lagos State, so that you will not say you didn't have enough time to... And when you come with such thing and the judge now say, we will not accept, we will not admit it, you will not say that somebody is biased. So that's what the man is saying, and I like it. I like it by, telling them, so that everybody will guard their loins. Because of the the heat this petition have generated, and for them to have said that they want to make sure that justice is served. And I know, with the two people involved, I know Atiku is not a violent man. Obi is not a violent man. Their supporters are not violent too. So if justice isn't to have been served, everybody will go home and the country will move on. Because none of them is bigger than the country. None of them. Yeah. So I think it's in the right order.
Because I got interested in what's a particular sentence by the justice where he said, let us cooperate with each other so that everyone will be satisfied that justice has been done.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you said.
Exactly.
So what does that portend? What should we be looking out for moving forward? Another hearing is tomorrow, that of the PDP and APG, right? And then we would get further hearing for Peter Obi on Wednesday. So what would you be expecting based on what the presiding justice has said?
In fact, they are opening the matter that is pre-trial, and I think that's why I can sit down here and even talk about it. Ordinarily, it should have been sub judice for the test, but they've not started the case proper.
Okay.
So we cannot just talk of the preliminary issues involved. You remember that recently the Supreme Court has been under some sort of uncomfortable situation with the judgment coming out from them because of the perception of the public. If you remember the Lalong matter.
Exactly. So that's actually the reason why it seems like there is a bit of a nod with this issue of technicality.
Yes.
Because that's exactly what it looks like. Justice was thrown on the altar of technicality with that of Lalong and Machina.
That particular thing is, in fact, it wasn't because of technicality. You now left the substantive issue and said technicalities, candidate or aspirant. I mean, I don't get it. So these are the issues that the man want to avoid. And then what happened in Imo State that has been causing problem up to today. I'm sure they wouldn't want a repeat of such things with this matter. And I pray they do. Having heard what happened in London, when I was listening to that matter in London, I was shaking my head. You can't fault it. I didn't hear that Ekweremadu want to go and appeal. It was so detailed.
But does he even have room for appeal? Does he have the opportunity to appeal the case?
Every matter, every this thing has
So what do you make? We haven't discussed about this really. That happened on Friday. I've not had time to talk about it. So what do you make of the Ekweremadu's case briefly?
You see, the Ekweremadu case, I will look at it from two angles. It is both spiritual and legal.
Have you seen the judgment? I can't believe you went spiritual. Have you read the judgment?
Are you the one that told me to mention it?
I'm just even saying. So what do you make of the entire judgment?
In fact, it was classic. I'm telling you. And there is this thing in law they call locus classicus. That is novel, something that's the first of its kind in the UK.
Oh yes, a novel case.
Yes.
Oh, because it's actually, since they passed that
in 2015
modern slavery bill.
This is the first victim, and they did a very good job of it. This will serve as a precedent. This will serve as everybody will refer to this particular judgment in the UK if there is a similar matter in the future, because Jeremy Johnson was so detailed. I don't know of any lawyer who will dispute what the man said. Remember, when they were even trying to tell the victim, they didn't want to mention his name. They called him C. That you are entitled to compensation. The boy refused. I don't know who advised him.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, he was told. The court told him. The IPO, as we call them here now. The counsel, he went to him severally, twice, 3 times. You are entitled to compensate. The boy said, no, I don't want anything to do with these evil people. And the court respected that opinion.
But you know that the young man is also asking to stay back in the UK.
He said that yes, because of what has happened now, his life will be in danger in Nigeria.
So do you see them granting him asylum?
It is possible. It is very, very possible. Because if he can prove that yes, with what has happened, it is obvious. It is very. In fact, the man said that there are some institutions that will look over that matter. He said it. There are some institutions that will look into his matter. He mentioned it in the judgment. So everything was detailed. Very, very detailed. So I don't know what any other person would be. And he did not go out and say because of all of you and all of you going to. No. He was very specific. According to your level of involvement. You know that Ekweremadu,
his sentence was different from that of his wife.
Yes, because
that of the doctor.
He was thinking he would be exonerated because he wasn't in the picture. But the judge said, look, you were the one that initiated this thing. You are the one that paid money. You can no longer come and tell us here that you were not involved. It was a scam. You know, that was what Ekweremadu was trying to say, that he was scammed. The judge looked at it and told him that you lied. He told him. He said you lied. Because you knew exactly what you were doing from the beginning. I do know why the judge was even so annoyed. He said that they wanted to exploit this boy because he came from a village where there is no electricity and there is no pipe-borne water. Precious. I almost broke down in tears. So they knew. And because of this boy's vulnerability, that was what they were after. They want to exploit him. They did not even care what happens to him after. They were so, in fact, whenever you want to know the development of any nation, go and check how they treat their poor, their women and their children. That is the benchmark to gauge. I am 100% sure that if this matter were to be in Nigeria, some people will even tell this boy that you're a fool. You are not even happy. You are not even. You should thank your God that somebody of that height even asked you to donate kidney for the daughter. I'm telling you. But that is not the way it is over there. I just pray that we will learn a lot from these things. This case and that of Ibori, it gave me some, it gave me joy that out there are human beings who know how to take these laws seriously. I'm telling you. In the case of Ibori, he was discharged on all count charge. This man brought a division in Delta State. He even built the court, equipped it, and then appointed the judges that will look over his case. And how do you think that case will go? They will watch it.
So are you saying that if Ekwerimadu's case were in Nigeria, it would have been different?
Oh my God. Ekweremadu wouldn't have spent 1 hour in any police station or court. I'm telling you. They will not look at how big he is. A man who has been in the Senate for donkey years. A man who is this. A man, they will start describing him and you think they are describing God. That is what is going on here. When they look at you and they don't have any rest. These are one of the reasons. I said by the time they finish telling you what Ekweremadu did and what he did not do, the court will say, well, based on the evidence, this and that, I find nothing against this man. It was mere speculations. Nobody will send Ekweremadu to jail. It can never happen. Precious, it can never happen. The one that murdered somebody during the election, is it not the one going all over the place now? In Kano, Abi?
Oh, if he's Dugowa you're talking about,
yes,
he's
now
contesting for the
So what are you telling me? You see, when these things happen, the whole world is watching us. It is reducing our humanity. I have told you here before that we are behind the human race. I'm telling you, when they read this thing and hear it, they will be asking, are these people human beings? That's what they'll be wondering. So what is the need going to read law and all that? Since you are going to mess it up at the end of the day. Look at Jeremy Johnson. Very calmly, very, very sober. He was delivering his judgment without any scruples. And I said, this is a man. What did we learn? After hearing all these things, I'm sure some people must have downloaded it to read it.
All right.
After doing all that, and what came out of it, you will see. We will not learn anything. Precious, we will not learn anything. They will tell you it is Nigeria. So Nigeria has a different standard from the rest of the world. Meanwhile, listen. Our leaders go to these countries to enjoy the good life. What is the thing that makes good life? It is their law, their rule of law, their due diligence, observance of the rule of law. This is what makes a society. Pressure, that is what makes a society. If you don't have respect for your law, then you are not a human being. I have told you here, one of the things God respects, it is his law, his law. He said it. You can offend anywhere, but the law against the holy, he cannot forgive you. So if you are going to deliverance from January to December and nothing is happening in your life, that means you have offended God in one of the most important laws which he put in place, that you should not offend what? The Holy Spirit. That is what God said. You can offend him or you can offend the Son, but you see the Holy, you cannot.
All right. So, Mr. Darlington, let's quickly move to the next conversation. The governor of Plateau State tried to sit in standing for the president-elect, and the presiding judge immediately told him that the president-elect is not a corporation.
A corporation,
but
that is it.
The person, so he cannot stand in for him. I'd like to get your reaction on that.
You know, the president-elect is fond of doing this thing. I remember when he was under trial during Jonathan period for holding 5 different accounts. I remember, yeah. He was asked to come into the door. He refused. Precious, he refused. And this was at the time he was not even holding any position, nothing. You know, he refused to come into the dock. I'm telling you. In fact, when I see how we have allowed some of these things, it is really painful. Seriously.
But
even before the
but
court.
Will that stop anything anyway?
It will.
It doesn't show.
No. It may not. The justices, they will not even bother, but they will do their work. They will do their work. But I don't think this arrogance is necessary, because this is arrogance before the court. You are before the court. They are trying your matter, and you are not even humble enough to obey simple instruction, simple rule. That means you are even larger than the court. And this has been his lifestyle. He just feels that he's too big for people to talk to him, or for him to go to court. That's why everything that has surrounding him, everything, we swept it under the carpet. So because of all these things, the man feels that he's too big. That is, look, I was in the court some time ago. That should be Justice Oshodi. A defendant, when the court arose, a defendant walked out before the court, retired to his chambers. The judge now called the lawyer, warn your client because of that behavior. Normally, when the court, you allow the judge to retire to his chambers. Then before everybody will leave the court. But this particular, and you don't do things like that. People just neglect they feel so big, so untouchable. If he were to go to US and UK and start, will he do that? Pressure, be sincere to yourself. Will he do that? That is, you see how they are reduced every one of us here. That's why I told you that some people are just thank God. Ekweremadu, they didn't learn any lesson from Ekweremadu. They didn't. And it's so sad. For him to have attracted the attention of the judge in this is not proper. It's not proper. Seriously.
That is the governor of Plateau State.
Yes, the man they are representing. Why didn't you show up? No, tell me.
But is he mandated to be there anyway?
Precious.
Today is just the open hearings.
Precious, please. Others were there.
Hearing.
P2B, was he not there? Atiku, was he not there? And this is an election that is so contentious. Yet you feel so proud and so big to appear, even if it is the first day. What you should be there. You should be there, except you have concluded that whether you come or not, it's a done deal. These are some of the things that give people the wrong impression. That you have already concluded. So what am I coming to do in court? It's not proper. At least or give the judges their respect. For that man to even come to say he want to represent on what grounds? Granted, it's not a criminal matter, no, that criminal trial. But is that why you should not comply? You want to represent who?
All right, so Mr. Darlington, let's move quickly to the next, where Atiku, through his lawyer, is seeking that the court allow the live broadcast of the proceedings of the entire election petition tribunal.
That may not be possible.
Do you think the court will come?
No, if they do that, it's at their discretion. But I don't think it's necessary.
It's actually within the discretion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
do you think the court will consent it?
No, I don't, because what value will it add? It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any, because there are people there, at least the admitted journalists into the court, the lawyers are there. So televising is live all over I don't see this thing, I don't see how it impact on the case. Because even the judges know that when they are sitting over the trial, they are sitting on trial too. They know that the whole world is watching. Yeah. It is the outcome of the judgment that will determine what they have done, whether they do it in secret or in the open. Like this Jeremy Johnson now, that Judge Ekweremadu's case. Did you hear anybody raise an eyebrow? It is not possible. Precious. They even went to who gave that money to Obata. He said Ekweremadu, in order to exonerate himself, gave the money to his staff to go and pay through a bureau de change, so that nothing can be traced to him.
How?
Can you do? In fact, they went. That is why I'm telling you that our investigators should learn a lesson. These guys know their job.
All right, so Mr. Darlington, let's move very quickly. Action Alliance has withdrawn their case against the president-elect. Does it mean anything?
It doesn't. It's just that maybe they are tired. They discovered.
Will it in any way affect?
No, it doesn't. In fact, it will make it easier for the judges instead of wasting time on irrelevant issues.
Okay.
They didn't measure up now. So what are they contesting here? Because the only thing is that they are saying that their candidate his name was not uploaded. But meanwhile, there was issue concerning your candidate who is actually representing you. So when you know that maybe their lawyer advised them. Their lawyer advised them.
So this alleged plot to influence the outcome of the presidential election by the PDP, do you think is anything to go by?
The what?
PDP alleging that there is an alleged plot to influence the outcome of
you cannot rule it election. Out now. You cannot rule it out. They influence the outcome of the
petition. Yes.
They influence the outcome of the the election itself. Abi, you saw what they did by intimidating people and profiling people. So why wouldn't they go for that? So that one is not. It is expected of them. I would be surprised if they did not do that. It's just that the people they were trying to influence, whether they will budge. Are you getting what I'm saying? These are Supreme Court judges, so they are held in high esteem. These men are men of integrity. I don't think anybody can. They will only try, but they may not succeed. I can't really tell, because by even saying it alone, they are trying to. You heard what their spokesperson Kiyamo had been saying every time, that nothing will happen. So they are trying to tell the judges. Even if you watch what they have been saying before now, it's part of it now. It's part of it. Even the way the president-elect has been acting, it's part of it. No, to tell him, look, I am already the president, so you better, So that's it. It's part of it.
All right, Lagos phone lines are now officially open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations that we've raised this evening. Now, these are conversations that are in the front burner everywhere in Nigeria. and we've already given you a snippet of these conversations, the presidential election petitions. We won't tolerate technicalities, court warns. And then the court further said that, we don't want unnecessary delays and senere. Every lawyer, make sure that you bring your matter as it's supposed to be, because we want to ensure we pursue this case so that even the whole world will see and be satisfied that justice has been done. This is according to the presiding justice. Very quickly, I read out the names of the justices in charge of the case. And what do you make of the composition of the judges?
In fact, they even tried the distillation of the judge. Yeah, men of them. They must have looked at their background. They must have looked at their antecedents because they know what is at stake. So these are even what Samani said concerning Lalong. We tell you that this is not business as usual. Any judge who doesn't care for
because before he would even say that to Lalong, he already did warn the lawyers that don't give us unnecessary drama. Just make sure that you package your case and all that. No time for technicalities. And by the time Lalong coming out, he told him, you don't know what, you cannot represent a single person, an individual, because it's not a corporate organization.
So with what he said now, it is left for the president-elect to decide whether to appear tomorrow or next tomorrow when the matter will come up.
So for the purpose of those who may not know, who may not be privy of those who make up the Petition Election Tribunal Court justices, let me quickly bring us up to speed with them. So the presiding justice is let me see if I can get their names very, very quickly. I'm trying to. Okay, so we have the panel headed by Presiding Justice JP of the Abuja Division Court of Appeal, Justice Haruna Samani. The members of the panels are Justice Stephen Ada, PJ, he's from Asaba Division, Justice Monsurat Bolaji Yusuf from Asaba Division, Justice Bolu Kuromo Ugo, Kano Division, and as well as Justice Abba Mohammed of Ibadan Division. So that's one of the conversations we're having today. The second conversation. All right, you want to
go. Okay, fine. You see, let me tell you, Precious. Yes. You learn. I have always told you here. You learn from what happened to others so that you don't make mistakes. Is that not true?
Correct.
Over the years, the people that claim that they own Nigeria, the way they have been behaving, they don't even think or give a thought to God and the way he do his things. I want to tell you something concerning Ekweremadu's matter. I told you it's spiritual and legal.
I didn't know we're going back to that.
No, hold on. I want to point it out so that maybe my listeners will challenge me. Do you remember one man called Otokoto?
A long time ago.
Good. On the 23rd of November 1996, something happened in Owerri. A small boy, listen very well so that you can tie it.
We don't have all the time, so help us summarize.
I will summarize, don't worry. I will summarize.
Okay.
Was the same thing that happened though, to tell you that the hand of God is on that boy they took to UK. They took him to the back of this man's Otokoto hotel, butchered him, collected as usual, and buried him in a shallow grave. Meanwhile, Epa Tapa was somewhere over the fence watching. The man saw what was, and he perched there and was watching what they were doing. He didn't talk. He observed everything. Immediately they finished, covered the place, and the man quietly came down, rallied around the community, told them what he saw, and they stormed the hotel that day. That is why, Pressure, do you take palm wine? If the palm wine tapper tell you what you saw before he brought the palm wine, you will not take it. Diochi, what you saw on top of that place, you won't like to take palm. So whenever you are taking palm wine, respect the palm wine tapper. He saw a lot. The man rallied around the community and they stormed the hotel, brought out the boys.
Exhumed his body.
Hell was let loose in Owerri. All the people, Damako, all of them, they left Owerri in a hurry. 11-year-old boy. Now, when God said, touch not my anointed, that no my prophet no harm, do you think he was joking? So there are things you will do. You think because you're a man, you have God will come. It's just a lesson.
So how does this case really?
Good. This boy that look at it now. Ekweremadu never thought that this small boy, this nobody, this nobody. Look at how the whole family. Because of this boy, the whole family, he collected all of them. That's how God was. He in fact, it was a technical knockout. Everybody, the wife, the man, and the daughter. Look at it. You see now, did he ever believe that that small boy will bring such a problem for him? I am very sure that if Ekweremadu had put up an advert that he wants somebody to donate kidney for the daughter in Nigeria here, precious, he will have more than 10 people to do that for him. But he wanted to do it through covert action. He wanted people not to know that the daughter, is it a contagious disease, kidney problem? Why would you do all that thing? Even the man mentioned it now. Eh? This is what you learn from these things. Ekweremadu, I'm sure he would have gotten somebody in Nigeria who would perfectly, they would not even,
All right, so Mr. Darlington, let's move quickly. I'm just trying to bring Lagos up to date as to the conversations that we're having. So our next conversation is on the governor of Plateau State representing or court or the presiding justice, more Mercer, stopping or telling the governor of Jos, did I say Jos? Plateau State, that he cannot represent one of the respondents who is the president-elect, right? And he told him, you cannot represent it. In Justice Sinami's voice, he said, he said, you cannot represent an individual. Tinubu is not a corporation that would need a representative.
And that is a fact, yeah. If it is a corporation, you can send any of the staff, either a senior staff of that company, because you cannot bring the company to the court.
Okay.
Even when you want to investigate the court, you have to unveil. You unveil the curtain to know who and who is behind it, so that you can know who to prosecute. Somebody must represent the company, but here is an individual. All
right. So, of course, another conversation that we have, Bayo Onanuga says that the president-elect is God's chosen for Nigeria, God's choice for Nigeria. As a matter of fact, he said that God has plans for Nigeria, and he chose a man who has the best leadership pedigree. And espouses the best vision to pilot affairs for May 20. So he said the rest people know, like the PDP and Labour Party, that are just blackmailing the judiciary over the president-elect. Well, Lagos, that's a conversation. Let's have you chime in on it.
And Precious, when you hear this statement, it borders on psychophancy. Because before you can talk of pedigree and the track record, you look at antecedents now. If Tinubu were to run Nigeria the way he ran Lagos, all of us will be in trouble. Let us face a fact.
I don't understand.
No. If he were, because this is that Bayo Onanuga is saying now, if he were to run Nigeria the way he ran Lagos, Precious, there'll be problems. So I don't want him to go there.
But many locations believe he made Lagos better.
Many. Who are they? MC Oluomabi? Please go to another.
All right, Lagos. I told you that the PDP are alert on alleged plot to influence outcome of presidential election. Well, these and more, and then the Action Alliance withdraws petition against Tinubu. So phone lines are now officially open: 0904 334 9253. 0904 334 9253, 0816 442 5875, 0816 442 5875. You can also check if our smart lines could connect. You may be lucky. It is 0700 903 9039, 0700 903 903 903. That's the smart number, 0700 903 903 903. But the WhatsApp line, if you are watching from the diaspora and you'd like to chime in on the conversation, the WhatsApp line is 0700 903 9039. So just save that number on your WhatsApp so you can always reach us, right? 0700 903 9039. That's the WhatsApp line. Let's begin to take your thoughts and your reactions. I have lots of messages here, lots of them. Let me see if I begin to take, if I could take each of them. So from our YouTube chat session here, Emmanuel says everyone agreed on real-time voting during the presidential election. We all know that turned out. We all want transparency and justice. Nelson also says correct. James Obi says, I am happy today. Nigeria will work again. Emmanuel and says Obi. James Obi says the courts can select media houses that can be there, like Ghana did, right? Stephen Uchena says, Uchena Odwenyi says, I wish the judges will redeem the image of the judiciary and the process. And Bright King says, Peter Obi for president. Jane Edekobi says, Tinubu is not an institution. He must be present in court. He underrates the judiciary. Then Zenobi says, he said, the world is watching the Nigerian judicial system. If they make any mistakes, some of the judges never get out of this country. Frederick Wanazia says, in Europe and USA, America, we will never see this kind of thing from any parties. Common Nigeria, this APC would have no respect for the court. Manuel Nicano says, how can the president-elect come to court? Right? James Obi says, I'm sorry. He said something else that I cannot. James Obi says, I'm sorry for Sonia is our child, but Ekweremadu should not come back to Enugu again. Manuel Lisano says, even the judges know Obi won the election. And let me quickly run through some WhatsApp messages because the calls are coming. You know when those callers starts now, I will not be able to read any message.
Please, let me ask, the person that said Tinubu cannot come to court, the question you should have asked him, if he were to stand in trial for anything at all.
No. He said something else after that I cannot read.
But he would have said it so that we can address it.
But I cannot read it on radio now.
No, let him say what you see. These are part of what we are saying. When they put their sycophants to be harassing people, they don't even know the implication.
No, what he said was not about harassing, but it's okay. If you could go to YouTube to watch that later.
But nobody should support it.
Nobody. He didn't support it either. He didn't support it. So Adayo from Fagba says, precious greetings to Mr. Darlington, my man of the year. The indictment and sentencing of Ekweremadu in UK is a welcome development, even though I was expecting 20 years as a lesson to Nigeria rulers and senators. If he carries a drug in Indonesia, no matter the kind of person he is, he will be killed. This is not Nigeria where everything goes. They can do. You said a lot, Sha. Thank you. You said that's why our doctors are jackparing. You complain. I'm sorry, your message is too lengthy. Adedeji said Nigerian elites, after greeting us though, he says Nigerian elite politicians don't learn lesson. The Ekweremadu matter will not change the heart of stone of politicians in Nigeria. I will not be surprised if some of his friends and colleagues accuse him of not being smart enough.
I'm telling you.
You said a lot.
Did you say he did? Oh, you think he did not try? He tried, but he learned a lesson from Ibori's case. The lawyer that wanted to do it with Ibori now, they jailed the man and removed his license. I'm telling you, the man went to jail. The lawyer. All so right. I'm sure Ekweremadu must have been pleased. Is there no way out and all that?
All right. So let's quickly jump on the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Darlington.
Yes.
My name is Mr. Bigger.
Bigger.
Mr. Bigger, you're welcome.
How big are you? How big are you?
He's Mr. Bigger.
How big are you?
Well, I am as big as you can imagine.
Are you serious?
You're welcome, Mr. Bigger.
Thank you very, very much for your position this evening.
Okay, my brother.
I strongly share your opinion, okay? Some time ago, in this program, we were discussing about Nigeria, Nigerians, and the attitude of Nigerian leadership and other stuff. Like you rightly pointed out, if this particular incident happened in this country and Ekweremadu were to be in Nigerian courts, they will sentence that young man to prison.
I'm telling you.
That young man that wanted to harvest his kidney, they will sentence him to prison. And if care is not taken, they will sentence him and his family, his mother and father, to prison.
For daring to accuse him.
Will go out free. That's the Nigeria we run. Do you get it?
And that's where the anger of God.
Thank God that God is using the courts abroad to expose Nigeria to the kind of system we run.
I'm telling you.
Ibori was an example.
Yes, nobody
And like
land.
I said in the one of the days before now, there are so many Ekweremadus still hanging around, and one way or the other, God will bring them up one by one. I tell you what, why I feel so sad about this country is because when you travel abroad, you see they will not take you for a human being so long as you are carrying the Nigerian green passport. They will tell you, you guys all over there, we are docile, we are imbeciles, we are this, we are that. You try to explain to them that the system does. They say because we are so docile, we cannot protest, we cannot speak out, we cannot do anything. Are you there?
I'm
Yes,
listening.
go
We are
ahead.
listening. We are listening.
But God is trying to, bring them out one by one. Somebody who is charged, who wants to defend himself in a court, is sending a governor to go defend him.
We are not sure if he's the one that sent him.
So who now sent him?
Governor Lalong may just have gone there, in solidarity. You can't tell.
Okay, and the man who is supposed to own the case
If he was
is
a
too big to
president,
come and answer, isn't it?
If he was president, would he have represented him?
Precious.
He wasn't
We
president.
don't have to defend in things that are not defendable.
No.
You get it? When Lalong got there, did he tell you that he just had the case was being tried today and he came to witness the case?
The man even
Was
changed.
was that what he was that what he told you?
He changed to defend the APC instead of the president
Now,
elect.
what I'm trying to tell us right now, some persons are assuming to be bigger than this country,
I am telling
but
you.
it's not going to work out.
I'm telling
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you so much for calling, Mr. Bigger.
Yes, that is the reality. That is the reality. Because Precious.
Sir.
You see this thing that the man said. Let me tell you, there was a time somebody, one of these our people over there, they took a picture of a governor of this country who was standing on a thing and holding the handrail. Precious, a governor of this country traveled to UK. He was standing on a train and holding the handrail. And
Former governor.
I'm telling you, former governor, not now, not now. Eh? For God's sake, why are they doing like this?
All right.
Double standard.
Mr. Darlings, the people, our callers are waiting. Lagos phone lines are still open 0816 442 5875 0904 334 9253. And the WhatsApp line is 0700 903 9039. That is 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for joining us. Yes, sir. Good evening. Welcome, sir.
Yes, my name is Gabriel. I'm calling from Ekweremadu.
Mr. Gabriel, you're welcome.
Yeah, Sir Darlington, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
I'm very fine. And yours?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay. I have listened to your analysis, and I want to say that I am very, very happy, and I share the same thoughts with you. Talking about Ekweremadu, in fact, I just feel very sad because of the daughter. If anyone have been in that issue, having your daughter or your son sick, you will understand. And so I am not actually in support of what he did, but I'm just having a feeling for that his sick daughter. But I thank God that he got entangled in a place where his smartness cannot let him out. Because just like you said, if it were here in Nigeria, he would go scot-free. He would go scot-free. So then coming to what Onanuga is saying, just like Mr. Donaldson said, he is one of the job seekers. Let us just exercise patience, and with what I heard concerning tribunal, the judges, I am very, very confident that they are not going to tolerate that nonsense from APC or from anybody.
I appreciate it.
So
Thank
we are
you.
believing God that the judgment will stand right at the end. But we all will rejoice. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I
Even if
appreciate it.
even
Okay.
if we have the judgment of man, remember that there is judgment of God.
All right, so let me quickly take a few messages. Good evening, VOP. Evening Rush. I see it's really ready to consume and share this guy, Darlington, unfounded truth and malicious propaganda. He said Ekweremadu would have been pardoned. He can't remember Obasanjo. Okay. He can't remember Obasanjo, Bode George, it is who were jailed. He's not profound with his facts. He's not articulated and calculated. Please, congratulations though on his new employment at our studio.
Please.
Oloye from Fagbile
Well,
Estate.
please,
And he said, my regards to intelligent, articulated, and calculative Anosiki, the spokesperson for the less
please,
privileged.
let me ask him. This matter that took Ekweremadu to UK, was it the same thing with Obasanjo's case? Was it the same thing with Bode George's case? I have told them, whenever you want to come after me, come to me with the superior intelligence. Don't just embarrass yourself. You should have told me that when similar thing happened like this against Obasanjo and Bode George, they were jailed in Nigeria. What are you saying? Even Bode George, was he not let off the hook after? Today, you cannot say that the Bode George is an ex-convict now. Neither will you say the same thing of Obasanjo. So what are you saying?
Right, let me go back to my messages.
You would think that he has said something now. Please leave all those. Look at what he's saying. You have talked, Tabi. If you want to join me, come here. Let us debate it now. Is it not to write what is not in the book?
All right, Mr. Darlington. Moses from Ijiododo says the arrogance of sending a representative rather than appearing in person should make the judges take a drastic decision that will clip the imposter's wings. If the imposter wins this case, he will treat citizens in disdain. And then, good evening, Darlington Precious and the bar. Can't there be a provision in the Constitution amendments where by election cases at the tribunal would be adjudicated before they swear in the winner?
Yeah.
Because as it stands now, it's a charade, because it may be impossible to unseat a sitting president in this country because of fear of killing the judge. Emperor Chuks.
Now, you see, it is very germane. He raised a point. When this law was made, nobody had in mind that Beavers is coming. Are you getting what I'm saying? And nobody had in mind that INEC will disappoint Nigerians with the Beavers. Remember that this man promised the whole world, not even Nigeria, that with Beavers.
Mr. Darlington, we do not have to have lots of messages.
Let us address it. So it is now behoves on the 10th Senate to now look at that particular session.
So you think there should be room for amending
if Kenya
Electoral Act?
If Kenya could conclude their own electoral matters before swearing in 14 days, why can't Nigeria do it? Why can't Nigeria? Even 1 month, max. I mean, it's a very simple matter now. All these 180 days, I don't know, they did that thing because nobody had in mind that things like this will come up. We thought that with the Beavers, it is now Uhuru.
All right, so let's move on to more messages. Good evening, Precious. And John from Isheri, Oshun. I beg, Mr. Darlington is on point. The Ekweremadu, you use the F word. This is a lesson to all our hard-hardened politicians in Nigeria. And then very quickly, Samson from Iyanopa just says, Mr. Darlington and Precious, you fall my hand, though. You are saying the president-elect is not a corporation.
Yeah. Why is he a corporation?
He said something and I cannot say it. He said something about a cartel. A cartel, not an illegal corporation.
No, don't
all right,
worry.
good evening, Precious. By rejecting the representative of the president-elect, does it mean he must be present and be questioned? If yes, what he feared most is about to face him? No, Shadrach. Mr. Darlington has said that it is not compulsory that he has to be in court. So It's done by force. Andrew from Ajawa State says, it seemed to me like the presidential panel may be thorough. I just hope, I pray so. Please, let justice be seen to have been done for the good and progress of Nigeria. God bless our justice system. Mr. Darlington, hello. This is Andrew, one of your most admired fans. In fact, I hope to meet you one of these days. God bless you for all you do to move this country
You must
forward.
not come to the gods with empty handle.
Are you Amadioha? We'll soon be swearing by Amadioha now. Precious, can you look at a situation without naming it? I don't think so. However, naming it, making it a word, because fear, you may not overstand. Alex from Iju. Alex, well, let me go back to my phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, precious Inek Tinubu Adeboye.
Nedu. Say na precious Inek Tinubu Adeboye. Only me.
I thought you would have said precious Supreme Court.
I put it to you that you run out of names for me. Nedu from Switzerland, you're welcome.
Not possible. When Nigeria have topic every day, you have them every day.
Alright, go ahead very quickly, Nedu.
I don't know the one. Is it the election petition or Ekweremadu? Which one are we talking? Look, I'm happy to what happened to Ekweremadu. Let me tell you. Let me give you one story. This happened this year. I was watching a program by at Berekete family. Ahmed Issa. Young boy from Benue, 17 years old. Someone, a friend of him, deceived him to sell his kidney at a hospital in Abuja there. Do you know the worst? They took his kidney and they didn't give him the money. So his elder brother that was not even in good terms with him, now even was the one, I think was the one fronting, going to front of the hospital, making videos and all this. We contributed money for the boy to start something first. Let the case be going on. Imagine that was in UK, including the doctor. Underage boy, he is 17, not even up to 18. So vulnerable. So a lot of cases like that, and the doctor don't. I think he gave the boy like 200,000 or so. After I think the bargain of 4 million. I forgot the amount, but I watched this. I can even search. I can even go to YouTube and search for it for me to be correct what I'm saying. Just that this came up now. So you see, the laws, the way our rule of laws are going on. Just like Mr. Darlington was saying, Ibori was cleared in Nigeria, but indicted in UK. Just like Tinubu was praising your Oga Wike in Port Harcourt, that he built that's. I can remember years back, I think last year or so, he bought soup for all the Chief Justice in Rivers State. Now, who persecute him? Nobody. You see, the way they bribe our judicial is alarming, and everybody is seeing it. Everybody is seeing it. So all our eyes is on this one now. Let's see the outcome of the election petition. You understand? I believe one day things will change, but when? The people that hijacked it is sitting on it so superbly. Look at the people that are contesting. I saw the names of Abio, the name APC listed. It's in their Twitter handle. The people they listed in Senate President and Speaker of the House, even the man that they are calling for committing murder in Kanu. May God help us in this country. That's all I said.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, very quickly, more messages here. Okay. So this says, good evening, Madam Precious. Asala is from Isola. I hope the judiciary, through its judges, will not do exactly the same thing INEC did by giving us hope at the beginning and then mess everything up at the end. They have started giving us hope now, and I want them to continue to do the right thing until justice is done. That's what it says. Chris from Ikeja says, good evening, Precious and Mr. Darlington. Ekweremadu is even lucky. If I were the judge, I'll sentence him to 20 years. Calm down. The unfortunate thing is that our politicians still never learn, and since they refuse to learn, so the president-elect cannot appear in court. You can imagine what APC is doing to our country. If this man finally enters, Precious, a problem for our judiciary. Nigeria, we should stand up again against lawlessness from our politicians. For this, he said, for God's sake, even if you support him, doesn't mean you should support illegalities. I just hope the court will not be compromised. At least, whatever the outcome is, Nigeria will surely move forward. That's what you said. And then I take this very quickly. And he says, Precious, why you dey fall our hand now for USA here? We dey watch you with foreign investors. How are you for your hand? Calm down. I'm doing my job. One day, maybe I pray you sit in the position I'm sitting, so you understand that I really have to do my job.
You know what? I know,
Mr. Darlington, tell them I'm doing my job,
no,
right?
No, I know you're doing your job.
They have to understand that I'm doing my job.
Yes, I know you're APC, but I'm here to. I'm your own position.
I'm APC. Now I do like this. All right. So Barbeji from Oshodi says, good evening, Precious and Mr. And dear able VOP Presido, Mr. Darlington. What is all of this? May God bless you both for me. Nigeria should go to God in prayers. And now for the 5 judges, what God use them God should use them to return our mandate, vindicate us and give us the new Nigeria of our dream, which we voted Peter Obi for. And may God answer us in Jesus' name. Amen. That's what you said. Adegwega Adedeji says, it's possible Lalong once went there on his own because we are in the season of psychophancy in order to be politically counted and favored. But I appreciate the response of the judge. That's what you said. And then this message says, people will not kill me. You see all these abroad people that are just killing me with buzzwords. People will not kill me, eh? All right. So this says, hi, Precious. Good evening. Well done for your good work. I am watching from Berlin, Germany. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I plan to keep it up. It's my job I'm doing. And then this says, and you should stop shouting. Okay, this says, Precious, you're always defending this establishment. Stop it. You know children are at stake. And it says, and she stop shouting people down when they speak their mind out on this program. Away. You carry me for mind like this. Okay, so you know the thing. I cannot let people say things, use insulting words, degrading words. You understand? Irrespective of who they are referring to with those words. It is my duty to ensure that I stop them from doing that. So when I tell them not to or to refrain and they continue, I will cut them off. That's a job, right? And I would also not let them, say things that are inciting or that may cause violence in any way. It is my job to also stop them. I'm sorry if you do not like it, if I do that.
Yes, so
but it's just because I am doing my job.
I remember Mary in the morning. Mary in the morning was saying, in fact, she even said that Mary in the morning was telling the callers and all that, that there are red flags and all that. So,
all right, let's go back to the phone line. Hello, good evening to you. Oh dear. Hello. You put me on call hold. All right. Hello, good evening. When you're back from call hold, we'll get back to you. We'll hold back onto you, right? Okay. So and this I already lost. All right. Hello, good evening to you. Good evening. Hello. Yes, good evening. Are you there?
Hello, Precious. Good evening.
Yes, so the way you call my name, like say now you give me. Well done. Thank you.
Let me give you. I greet my brother.
Welcome. Waiting be your name and where you call from.
I beg, I want to ask one question. I beg, can you tell me one project, 8 years APC in power, that will make them to be the second winner? That is number one. Number two, every Nigerian vote for Labour Party presidential candidate. Nigerians know that.
Not every Nigerian.
So
I will answer the second question. Mr. Darlington will answer the first one.
No, let him finish.
He's
coming. He has 5 questions.
Go
ahead.
You have 5 questions,
Abi. Again, minus kidnapping and extorting the money. Even our president Buhari used $1 billion to pay the bandits that kidnap people. So now, what will we tell the next government when they enter, if our president elect be the president, so all our money will be paid to the to kidnappers and others. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Now,
so Mr. Darlington will answer 1 and 3. Why I answer only 2?
There is no evidence that the president paid the bandits 1
So that is you answering number 3. So how about number 1 question? What is the project that they have done that will make you vote them again?
Go and read the 191 page achievements of Buhari. I think they wrote a book. So when you read the book now, go and buy.
Understand. So let me answer number 2
because there are things he may have achieved which I don't know. So there are things maybe there are invisible things that you and I cannot see.
So while Mr. Darlington is dealing with the visible, but the visible one is that for sure, see, even the least presidential candidate had somebody who voted for. That's what you should know. So you cannot say that all Nigerians voted for Labour Party. That's not true. That's not true at all. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening. Good evening, yes, Precious.
Hi, welcome.
This is APC Leo calling from Dallas.
APC Leo from Dallas, you're welcome.
Okay, you're chairman in Dallas. Okay, go ahead.
You see, we're for everybody and for nobody.
My respect and my hats off for Mr. Darlington. A great Nigerian he is. I honor you.
How about
You're a wonderful man.
How about me?
Brother.
Keep up the great work you do.
Amen.
Okay, so Mr. Darlington is a great Nigerian.
I'm
waiting to hear my own accolade.
You are APC now.
I don't give you since now. I don't flop baskets.
He's my fellow APC, so you should give me some accolades. All right, go ahead with the contribution there.
Oh my God.
So, we have 2 hot items on the banner.
Yes.
Right? One is that issue of Mr. Ekweremadu, and what Nedu just said a few minutes ago is he cited an example of a young man who was even underage. His organs were taken from him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't catered for. He only got about 200,000. That is so pathetic. Do you know how many Nigerians are going through that? And why would anyone be subjected to such a situation because of abject poverty that's going on in the country? But what are they? What is the government of Nigeria? When we talk about the rule of law, it's supposed to go across the board, right? Imagine that in this country, in America, you have to wait in line. They don't care if you're a senator. They don't care if you're a judge. Nobody cares. You have to wait in line for somebody to be able, and unless it's your family member who is willing to give you an organ.
Exactly.
But there's a rule of law. What is so wrong with us in Africa with that we do not respect law? That's the first people to break the law. This is an example set on a lawmaker outside the country.
The law he made.
Someone said that if they were that judge or that magistrate who sent them 20, I could have given them life imprisonment without parole, just to set in this country where they will use one person and set an example for the rest. One person caused an arson, they take you and they give you they land you so that the next person will never try it. And nobody will try what these people, Mr. and Mrs. Ekweremadu has did. No one will do it again because they know they see the consequences coming. So if Nigeria start upholding the law, if the executive is even refusing to honor what the judiciary has put in place, this current government refused when the asset released Nnamdi Kanu. They refused. So why you do if the executive is disobeying the rule of law, who should obey the rule of law?
I wonder.
Who are setting precedents for the country to go wayward. We should be very careful. We should be very careful with what we do. I was listening to Mr. Shehu, the senator, said that this particular government at Shehu Sani, that they have made it in such a way. They were the one refusing election results before. Every time, see, the only result President Buhari accepted is the one for 2015. Every other result, he contested every other result. Now is the time for some other party to oppose their result. They say you people should go to court. Now these people are in court, and the evidence, all kinds of evidences are coming out right now, and they are looking at, hey, we asked these people to go to court, but things are not looking very good. And then they start saying that you people should you should not intimidate the judiciary. Who is intimidating the judiciary? Anyway, let me not take much time and let other people contribute.
Thank you, my brother.
But yes,
Thank you,
I honor you, my brother. But Precious, you're highly honored. You are highly honored.
Thank you for finally.
You do a great job. You put your own life, the life of your family at risk to come here every day to open the lines for us to air our grievances and tell the truth and speak truth to power. We should mind our words. We should not just say. You can have constructive criticism without saying some kind of words.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You understand?
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. I feel very honored. I appreciate you, Leo.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Do you know that, Precious? Do you know that with this thing that is going on over the years, this thing that people call money ritual, in actual sense, it is organ harvest. So, because I've sat down to imagine.
Okay, so our local money ritual is actually organ harvesting.
When you see,
so when they kill them and collect
the essential for money ritual.
Oh,
I'm telling you, because look at it.
So that's harvested organ. They use it to get money.
Exactly.
So it's actually the money ritual.
That is what has been going on over the years, out of ignorance.
So we just think it's been
ritual.
You,
like ask yourself, how many people became rich with money ritual?
Some people actually get rich.
Who told you that? No, did you see anybody who said
that's what they say?
Now you see you now. You see. That's what they wanted to
Let's
believe.
Go back to our full lines.
It's not possible.
All right, hello.
It's not possible. It's not possible.
Please help me turn off the volume of your radio when you call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Thank you. Good evening. Welcome.
Yes. I thank Mr. Darlington.
Okay.
I thank you very much. You are only exception in the whole rather 200,000 million people in the country.
So only Mr. Darlington like this is different from all of us.
You are the only different. Yes. Those if you know that you are blamed, come out like Darlington and speak out. Let people know you. Because from president, judiciary, Senate, they are very, very irritating. They are not doing up to their task in this country. They just want to kill this country because of maybe one-sided country. Or they just want to acquire wealth for nothing. So they will be receiving it one by one. That is my opinion.
Thank you so much. Right. Okay, so I see all your reactions on YouTube. So many of it. Because YouTube is where you can always go back to read responses. I'll probably just mention your names and let it pass.
No,
so Paul Okeke, I see you.
Read their this thing now.
Paul Okeke says, good evening. You not let me read now. Messages are too plenty.
Read.
But you're not letting me.
What did I do?
Do you promise to allow me read and not interfere now?
On the condition that you read the bad ones.
All right. So Paul Okeke. Okay. Before I even get to Paul Okeke, too many messages. And Mr. Darlington. They are open.
Just start from somewhere. You are wasted 2 minutes.
Okay. Annie Emeka says, let the justice remember that it is the same APC that got that have never regarded the court delivery. So they should shun bribery, favoritism, intimidation, and make us all proud. Manuel Licano says, if Tinubu be allowed to rule Nigeria, we will take Kenezike says, if they call all right, you say if they called for the president-elect and Lalong said stood up to send him. Tony Chukudi says, good evening, beautiful precious, and Mr. Darlington. Thank you, beautiful precious, for bringing Mr. Darlington in the evening. So you just call me beautiful because Mr. Darlington is here. He's okay, no problem. Paul Taiwo says, is this the Lalong the elected president of Nigeria? Is the Lalong the elected president of Nigeria? Okay. All right. Manuel Luciano says, Obi won in my polling unit in Baramatu and the entire Delta State. Adediji Adebowale says, the president-elect doesn't have to be at the court. What will he do there? He has employed lawyers to do their work. Simple. Moreover, Jagaban has more important things to do.
Can you imagine?
And Oduwas Kemi says, the judges also said during the interrogation, the young man was offered some amount of money if he wanted, but he had that the MC he refused the money, the kidney by Mr. C. All right. Manuel also says crime and corruption definition in Nigeria is different from the main definition of which wrongs in normal is normal. Okay, but the main definition of it is normal by ordinary Nigerians. But crime and corruption definition is different from a politician. Shoma X says it's equal. It's quite unfortunate that Mr. Ekwerimadu's case. I would have thought they could have brought his daughter back to Nigeria for kidney transplant. With money, I am sure he would have found a donor. Tony Chukudi says, Mr. Darlington, I support you if Mr. Ekweremadu had bought out of 20 to 30 million naira out of this kidney issue would have been solved, something like that. Paul Okeke says, good evening, precious and Mr. Darlington. You are always on point. Keep it up, Mr. Darlington. Ekweremadu was beating black and blue in Germany during New Yam Festival. Remember that case?
Yeah,
and that's what Oduwan Kemi says. Tony Chukudi says, I'm sure he will get more than 20 or 30 more people who would have donated if he had come to request for kidney in Nigeria. And Choma then says, Mr. Ekweremadu did not trust the Nigerian hospitals. Same way they all travel abroad for treatment and forsake the hospitals they could have been treated comfortably in Nigeria here if they carried a good job in it. The messages are too many, so I'll just keep and read those that have not read the messages before. Manuel Luciano says Tinubu has made it possible for all Nigerians to be ashamed to call themselves Nigeria. So Johnny Wise Izenwa says, will Tinubu send a representative on May 29th?
I wonder.
And Pat O2 says, let the president-elect think that he is too big to stand court, then he is not ready to lead Nigeria. He is not queen or king. He must answer to the court. Unthinkable things happen in Nigeria. And the next, okay, Annie Emeka says, good evening, precious and Mr. Darlington. I just hope this justice remember that it's the same APC government that never regarded court judgments that they are trying to protect. So let them do the right thing, right? Francesca says, are we not in democracy anymore? Why not people speak their minds? Freedom of speech. Biko, I'm beginning to think she's working for Tinubu. Wait. MC Akika says, you see the messages are so many. It says, INEC chairman Yakubu Mahmoud and Tinubu should appear before the court for questioning and response. Ekosong Dabango says, that is what I said. And Nkechuku Onyebuchi said, look at what INEC chairman has turned us to in Nigeria. Michael Kafo says, Madam Presh is the best. She know they vex. She know they ever vex, no matter how you provoke her. Sorry on that. Emmanuel Lucy says, assuming they are investing all these looted billions in Nigeria, all the billions they invested and buying properties in the countries, if they invest in Nigeria, you can imagine what Nigeria will be like. It'll be like small London.
Even the man mentioned it.
Ekosu Dambago says, in Sudan, he said, is Sudan going to happen in Nigeria? It will never happen. You are in abroad thinking that. Michael Chinedum says, please, they're going to televise. We're not yet sure, but we'll let you know once that update comes up. But my WhatsApp messages are so much. But let me see if I can read a few of them. That Igbo man in your studio is just, Mr. Darlington, I cannot tell you the word they said here. He said that Igbo man in the studio is just fooling himself, just beating him, and like he sounds like a broken record. Okay, this is from Emma from First Stack. He says, good evening, Precious and Darlington. The president-elect not showing up in court is just proves that the kind of politicians we play, our politics we play, where the respect for the law is not profitable to them. We must rule. Who must rule? No, it's to be interviewed by the media. The system and the consumption gives politicians these powers to be ruthless and get away with it. But he said a lot there. I appreciate you. Good evening, voice of Biafra. He says voice of Igotayasha. I've told you before that there are lots of other people calling in this show.
See, when they
and
said
then, congratulations, they did not zone Senate President to Southeast. They are missing out. Let them continue to put their eggs in one market and watching and waiting for Tinubu to upturn what God has stamped.
Yes,
that's what he said.
Thank you.
Good evening. See, we read all your messages. We love you guys like
no,
that. Casey from Oshodi says, good evening, Darlington Precious and the VOP family. I feel for the Ekweremadu family, but God is out to destroy those who are destroying our people, our destiny of our people in Nigeria. And then, good evening. I'm really enjoying your program today. You guys are doing great. Thank you. Good evening, Precious and Mr. Darlington. You people are doing a great job. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. And good evening, Precious and Darlington. This is Piva from Oshodi. He says, I just hope the justices remember that it is the same AP. Well, I think I took your message on YouTube.
You took it. You took it.
Yeah. So I think I took that message on YouTube. And this is Obina Norum from Ayobo, Baja. It says, the 2023 Presidential Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja is presiding a case to save the soul of Nigeria, not the soul of the INEC or the president-elect. Exactly. The tribunal should stand up to justice and prove to the whole world that new Nigeria is possible. We need new leaders with hearts of flesh to govern Nigeria and not the heart of stones. Ew. Okay, I like how... Agege from Agege says, my warm regards to the man of goodwill, Mr. Darlington. God's presence will not depart from your household.
Amen.
As per the judiciary, why you not talking men for the other ones? We no praise you.
They didn't say
the one that did not praise you. Why did you not say men, Mr. Darlington?
No, you didn't allow me.
But you said that the ones that used to give you bus, I should read it, and I read it. And did not say men.
I wanted to like you said that Igbo man, Abi.
But you would have just said something. Okay, don't worry.
He didn't say anything.
Okay.
That was, I told them that look, we are open to criticism.
Okay.
It is my thought. I don't run away. An old woman can never be tired of a dance step she knows too well. Yes,
right.
now.
Okay.
So if like when they mentioned the Bode George and Obasanjo, did I not puncture it? So come with say something that what I'm saying is not. Then you provide your own.
Okay. All right. So this says, as per the judiciary sittings, I pray they hold their image high before the whole world. To me, I believe strongly that the life wire of our democracy depends greatly on the Nigerian judiciary. I think I should summarize that in any nation where injustice is embraced, anarchy reigns. Oh wow. Good evening, Precious. Your guest there is storyteller, and he will continue telling stories until President-elect is sworn in. Dear Precious, please allow Mr. Darlington to give us some history today. I really like how you guys are talking calmly today.
Oh my God.
You two used to fight. You two used to fight at times.
Yes.
You fight a lot.
It depends on the topic now. Okay. It depends on the topic.
And then Tony Anele from Ejegemo says, here in Nigeria, people can almost accurately predict the outcome of electoral matters, unlike in other climes. Right. And that's why you see people just so for post-election positions at National Assembly and the rest of them. But he said a lot there. I probably would let it pass because the message is too lengthy. He says, my name is Omar from Ikoto Alimosho. Good evening, Miss Precious. Thank you for bringing Mr. Darlington. He's very current and full of wisdom. Ekwerimadu's case is a lesson to our leaders and to expose the rest of them. On the issue of president-elects, pride goes before a fall, and God will resist the proud. Refusing to appear before the court. We said a lot about it, and I appreciate you a lot. And then he says, good evening, Precious. I commend your works. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Precious, I greet you because you are doing a great job. And my VOP president, Mr. Darlington, Tinubu should win the court case. Precious, I leave this country by going through the desert. Is it if Tinubu wins, you leave the country but go through the desert? Calm down. You don't go anywhere. Calm down. All right, let me go back to the phone lines. Our phone lines are buzzing non-stop. So in case you're just joining us, you can chime in on this conversation. Call the direct lines on 0816-442-5875, 0816-442-5875, 0904-334-9253, 0904-334-9253. All right, and the WhatsApp line, if you're watching from the diaspora, is 0700 903 9039, 0700 903 9039. So on our discussion this evening, Action Alliance withdraws petition against Tinubu's victory, and of course, Presidential Election Tribunal, we won't tolerate technicalities. Court has warned. In fact, court said all the parties involved should make sure that they put their things well and stop unnecessary drama and scenario. That they want to do a kind of thing that will show that the whole world will be convinced that indeed justice has been served, right? And then we also have another case that says the governor of Plateau State, Governor Lalong, court stopping the governor of Plateau State, Governor Lalong, sitting in for the president-elect during the election tribunal. We also have Atiku Abubakar's team requesting for the court to allow live broadcast of the proceedings. We're yet to hear the court's feedback on that. And by the way, both Atiku Abubakar's case and P2B's case has been adjourned. Atiku's hearing is adjourned to tomorrow, while P2B's is adjourned to Atiku's case is adjourned to tomorrow, P2B is adjourned to Wednesday, right? So that's it. So that's about that. So that's the discussion we're having. We also have this case about the senators, but a lot of people don't seem to be interested in it. About 72 ex-senators endorsing Akpabio for the Senate presidency. No. And hey, on our step down conversation this evening, we're going to discuss something very interesting. Would you rather prefer politicians swearing by a traditional god instead of the Holy Quran and the Holy Bible? I'd like to hear your thought and reaction on that. But let's go back to the Mr. Darlington, you'd like to say something?
Yes, the senators. You see, whenever something has gone bad, it attracts all the bad people. You know, homogeneous species attract each other. If not, on what basis will an Akpabio be even nobody? In fact, on what basis should somebody even recommend Akpabio?
What did he do wrong? He was one of those who changed Akpabio State.
You see,
Mr. Darlington, before this is not me supporting Akpabio, but before Akpabio came in as a governor in Akwa Ibom State, I know a lot of people who relocated from different parts of the country to Akwa Ibom, and they've remained there because of the developments that he brought to Akwa Ibom State.
Precious, please, I want to ask you. The so-called development, did he do it with his money? Is that not what he was paid to come and do?
If other people had done it,
but hold on. It is not enough for you to tell us that he brought development. What is his character?
All right, Mr. Darlington, let's go back to the phone lines. Our phone lines are buzzing non-stop. And messages are pouring in like water.
You know what went down under him in Akwa Ibom? How many people?
And EFCC still called him recently. He said he was receiving treatment. They called him.
You see now, how many people died under his word when he was trying to be god of Akwa Ibom? How many people?
Including going back to the phone lines now. Hello, good evening.
Reverend Father.
Please help me turn off totally the volume of your radio set.
All right, I had done that. Right. Thank you, Mr. Darlington, and thank you, my sister.
Yes.
You are doing a great job.
Thank you.
I want to talk on justice in Nigeria.
Okay.
As I'm talking to you now, allegedly, the court had been bribed with 10 billion.
Yeah.
And don't be surprised.
As you're talking, where did you hear that from? What is your evidence?
Okay, let me know. I say allegedly.
Please, scratch that.
See, that's how you carry plenty gist.
We are not here for speculation.
Thank God for everything. I believe that justice will be served. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
So when people are...
Hello. Sorry, Mr. Darlington. Hello. Can you help me turn down? Okay, you know what? The person is not ready.
They're even discussing the problem.
Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Good evening, Madam Precious. Good evening, Mr. Darlington. This is AY calling.
AY, where have you been?
Oh man, listen. On a matter time is small, so I go vacation. I'm just gonna.
So not only did we miss you,
Yeah, this guy used to contribute.
I was getting worked up.
Oh,
I was getting worked up. So, yeah, I did miss you too, but I didn't stop listening. I didn't
but
just
not
call.
only did we miss you, a lot of people missed you, and they even called in to ask about you. Some even sent messages to inquire about you. Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't know I was like that, but I really do appreciate you, especially you and the station, for air out the truth, even though censor censor they, but I mean you got a job to do. I understand that, but I appreciate.
You have to drop that censor one anyway. It's fine.
But Mr. Danity, is an honor to really listen to you. We need more men. It's one of the problems nobody. The truth, we are allergic to the truth. We don't like saying the truth. Anything but the truth. I watched it. Well, I watched the good bit of the trial this morning, the hearing on our trial. Whatever it is, I did watch it, and I found it very interesting. It's either somebody is trying to choreograph a very convincing TV show, or they're serious about this. I would take the cynical approach, because nothing in Nigeria or any Nigerian politician will tell me that I will not take the cynical approach.
Why do you decide to choose that path, really? Try to have a little faith.
But it is very simple. It's based on and history. That is what I'm basing it on. Mahmoud on 15 different occasions went on different platforms and spewed his nonsense. And on the day he was supposed to perform, what happened? So, no, I'm sorry. Words and grand gestures and openings, all that is fluff to me.
It was a big embarrassment. Very, very.
So big for me. You feel me? I will keep that in one side. God help them. But what I'm interested in this, because between you and I, it is not going to be televised. It's not. Why will they televise it? Nigeria is not ready to be liberated. These judges are not ready to be liberated from these guys. They're not going to. They're not going to televise it, because you know what they say over. They have a saying over here: sunlight is the best disinfectant. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. When you put sharp thought on something, it exposes it to everybody.
Yeah.
They don't want this situation exposed. They will find the technicality, they will find the comma, they will find the clause, and they will do what they've always done. They will do what they've always done. What will you do? I don't like somebody saying you will do something, I always ask, what will happen when he does not do it? Is what we should start asking. What happens when you don't do it? That Mahmoud was going up and down, blabbling. Nobody asked Dr. Mahmoud, what will happen if on that day this thing is not uploaded? I say, what will happen? Nobody asked him. No journalist, nowhere. He went everywhere and he was dancing. See, I don't know where this is gonna go. And I want to be optimistic. You feel me? But based on the country, I wouldn't put 5 naira on a good ruling, unfortunately. But we they watch them as the people we are watching. Please continue to do a good job. Please continue to expose the truth. We need more truth tellers. So sunlight is the best disinfectant. They cannot silence all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, I appreciate you.
Yeah, and that is the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
All right, going back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening. Hello. Oh yeah, difficult to connect with you. Hello, good evening. If you're there, unfortunately, I can't connect with you. I think something is wrong with your network. But let me quickly run through some messages. Samson from Yanapacha says, God Almighty God is Almighty. Those that swear by God and still does devilish act, even if they swear by lesser gods, nothing spoiled, because that is actually their domain. You guys are supporting these lesser gods. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Wow, I'm so lucky. Honestly speaking, I've been trying for hours.
I'm so sorry. So the phone lines there, the calls are coming back.
If nobody commends you, I commend you.
Thank you.
Precious. AJ from Ikoto.
AJ, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I love you. I love my big brother, Darling.
Thank you.
We are the same, truth family.
Thank you.
I'll hit the nail on the head.
Right down.
Regarding Ekweremadu, I wish those, writing and pleading under high degree of shenanigans and cajolery to look at things this way. Would they have allowed their own children to be butchered?
I wonder.
I am grossly disappointed in them.
I wonder.
Would they? That's the question I would have for them. That's from our so-called past president and the so-called current senators, pleading, senselessly. I hate to use this word, but I am so embittered. Would they?
They will not.
Somebody's, child is being butchered, and you are there indirectly pleading. If I had my way, Ekweremadu will never see the light of the day. Some life imprisonment. Will he have allowed his own children? The truth must be told. And nothing must malign that.
Thank you.
Then the other one that was saying that, our APC elect, subject is the best.
Yes, by an that says he's.
Yeah, we have fools. We have fools in the society. We have psychopaths in the society. They can always fool themselves, but they can't fool people like me and the rest of the latest.
Right,
so that's what I'm going to say. Yes, they can
so
fool themselves, but they cannot fool people like us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
They know that from our past, the truth has always been the truth.
Thank you.
And no or nothing can, shackle.
Thank you.
I don't know what to, and the so-called, okay, let me reframe. The judges, they stand to be either looked to as people of integrity, universally, or people of anomy and ignominy. My darling says, remain blessed. My precious, remain elevated.
Thank you.
That's all I need
so
to
much.
say.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, from our studio, it's exactly 8:30 p.m. It's actually time for us to go to our
Precious, please, let me even say something.
Mr. Darlington, say fast.
With this Ekweremadu and Orji Kalu matter, listen very well. If you call 10 Igbo people today, 8 of them will not support them. 8. That tells you the character of the Igbo man. People should get it straight. We are not for evil. We don't support it. I have made it clear here.
So look at it's okay. We shouldn't
look at all the people
shouldn't
that
make
have
this
been
a tribal statement.
But
it's
not
okay.
a tribal.
Can we go back?
I want them to. One man said the
Igbo
man. That Igbo man is
okay. But we just let that fly.
But you said I did not say MM. I want to say MM now. You will not allow me.
It's okay. So let's move to our step down conversation. So on our step down conversation, whilst people may still have the opportunity to still react on the major issues because we have too many unanswered calls and unattended messages, right? So, former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Chuks Ibegu, has said politicians should be sworn in using African deities like Amadioha, Tongo, Ogun. They should use it. Which one is that one in your language? Ayelala. All those traditional gods, we should use it to swear. He said using African deities to swear. He said using African deities to swear in politicians would prevent them from looting the government treasury while in office.
Oh, God.
He said, I advocate that all politicians or political office holders in Nigeria be sworn into office using African oaths with our deities. Politicians are no longer afraid of the Bible and Quran and should be sworn in with African deities to instill fear and honesty in them. Unless this is done, our politicians will continue to loot us dry and mess our lives up. Do you agree, Lagos? This is a step down conversation. I'd like to hear from you.
The only time that will succeed is when we elect Babalawo as president. Yeah, let us choose the one. Yes, now it's only Babalawo that can do it. If these other people who profess to know God more than God himself, they will say, it is a fetish, it is barbaric. They will give us all sorts of name that is not obtainable. But what is untenable is to embezzle funds.
All right, so Lagos phone lines are open. Basically, let's get to share your thoughts and reactions. The WhatsApp line remains the same.
There are some countries that have taken care of this, like China. If you steal 1 naira, they don't jail you, they kill you. Remember one NAFDAC lady in China who was to supervise over their food, drinks, and all that. This woman allowed the contaminated milk to go into circulation, and some Chinese children died. The whole world was pleading on behalf of that lady. Before you know it, they cut off her head and sent her away. China.
All right, Lagos phone lines are open. Do you agree? You still have opportunities to chime in into the other conversations that we have. 0700 903 9039. That's the WhatsApp line. If you're watching from the diaspora and you'd like to chime in on this conversation, 0700 903 9039. That's the number to call. And the WhatsApp, the phone line to call, that is the WhatsApp line rather. The number phone line is 0904 334 9259 and 0816 442 5875. You were saying something, Mr. Darlington?
Yes, anybody who will come and call and tell us it is barbaric, then what is not barbaric is to embezzle our money, Abi. Why is Nigeria like this? Is it not because of the funds stolen? Rubadu, the first chairman of EFC, told you that over 500 billion of Nigeria, $500 billion of Nigerian money is outside here.
All right, so let's go to the phone lines, Mr. Darlington.
Outside here.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm Manuel Kano. I'm calling from Accra, Ghana.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. First of all, I want to commend you guys. You guys are trying.
Thank you.
You see, because of this election that just took place, I left Ghana. I traveled from Ghana here to Nigeria on the 22nd of January to vote at Delta State. And I voted at my polling unit. It will be scored 2017 votes. That is the one with 2017 votes, bringing Asiwaju to third position after Atiku.
But you know that your polling unit is different from all that polling. We have about 170 something.
Maybe he's going to somewhere now. Let him land.
Yes, yes. I know that. But with the result from Delta State and all over Nigeria, everybody are aware that it will be won the election. Everybody are aware about that.
Let the tribunal decide. Go ahead.
If the judges they cannot declare Peter Obi the winner, the right thing they should just order for a rerun.
Right.
And with that rerun, they should place it that the use of beavers should be compulsory, so that if Tinubu that is claiming he won, he should not be afraid that the beavers should be used and the election should be fair and fair.
The only thing is that the result was not uploaded immediately to IREV. Beavers was used. I appreciate you. I get your point. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good day.
Thank you.
Precious.
Welcome.
We are on step.
Mazi, I greet you.
Well done, my brother.
Precious, I greet you too.
Yes. Please kindly make it a bit snappy. We don't have too much time.
Hello?
Yes, we are hearing you. We are hearing you.
Okay, Mazi, I greet you. I'm calling from South Africa.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Issue of Ekweremadu is not. It's just it's karma that came. You know, it's karma that came. Mazi, you said something about China.
Yes.
You know, it's just say 5 or 6 years. That's 1977. China introduced a free trade, isn't? And they have a strict law to the government. You eat from government pocket debt.
Yes.
The issue of that lady, you know that lady was 92 years, 93 years when they killed her. Do you know that?
Exactly. They didn't care about her age and everything. They didn't care.
Very good. The issue of Nigeria, we are blind. A lot of Nigerians know the truth, but we just keep on suffering. How can a sensitive person support Tinubu to be president?
No.
Put it aside.
AGK, please.
No.
Can you
put it aside.
Can you just go straight to what you want to do?
Let's go straight. No, we are suffering.
Don't worry. The matter is in court.
Okay?
Let us hear what the court will say. Don't worry yourself.
I know. Do you know? Once upon a time, Nigeria have no bank. Nigeria have no bank, and somebody came up, an economist, made our bank so strong that we are selling shares a lot of places in the world today.
Yes.
Once upon a time, Nigeria, it's like today. One lady came up as well, and Nigerian debt was cancelled. Once upon a time, Nigeria have no
We
good.
don't have time. Can you just help us make it a bit
No, sorry.
snappy, please? Thank you.
Let him vent now. Let him vent.
We're
Go ahead.
letting him vent, but he's already consumed almost, pursuing 3 minutes. And
we are step down, AGK, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry, Mr. AGK.
Go ahead.
People are waiting to contribute. So if we have you take so much time, others may not be able to.
No, go ahead. Let him round up. Let him round up.
What I'm trying to say is that when Nigeria, there's a lot of fake drugs in Nigeria. Somebody came up and made our NAFDAC today very powerful. Why is Nigeria ignoring? Why is Nigeria ignoring good brains from that side that makes every ministry that is very fancy effective in the country? Don't you see that something is happening in that political class? They know the truth, but they don't want to give that truth a chance to grow.
Exactly.
Good night, Precious and Mazi. I greet you.
Thank you so much, AGK. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, this says, Mr. Darlington, please, before you go, drop your social media handle. Mr. Darlington, that social media, you've still not opened it. Should I open for you?
You want to open for me? Will you be want to manage it for me? Precious, I had one, but I didn't like. Don't worry, when the time comes. What would I do with my social? Is it not to be chatting?
They want to be reaching you now. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Precious Machuku.
Hello, who is Machuku? Precious
Machuku.
What's your name, please?
My name is Ifoma.
Ifoma, you're welcome. Where are you calling from?
Oga Darlington, how are you?
I'm okay, my dear.
People are doing well.
Thank you.
I'm calling from a.
Yeah.
Precious, you're asking a question here. This swearing issue, in the Bible, I'm standing where the Bible stands. Jesus said we should not swear.
With any other God.
Anything in heaven on earth, God wants everything. But let our yes be yes and no. See, anything outside that is a sin. Though they are made it in Nigeria, anyhow they like, let them be doing. But God's authority will not be defined.
Thank you so much, Ifoma.
And another thing I want to plead with us as a nation, we should keep on praying for our land.
Okay.
What I have been seeing in Revelations with all these days is total darkness in the land. Everybody is running helter-skelter. But we have been praying that God should not allow war. That Judiciary should do the right thing. Whoever, like a man of God, the other time said, whoever that reads the election, know that he reads the election. It's at the subconsciousness of the mind. So God knows it. So anybody, whether they speak the truth or don't speak the truth is that they know what they do. So please, we that are not there, let us keep on praying that everything should come out peacefully well, that the will of God must come to pass in the land. Oga Darlington.
Yes, ma'am.
I love all your narratives, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much, Ifoma. Thank you.
See, Precious.
All right, hello, good evening, Mr. Darlington.
Nobody's going. Nobody.
Mr. Darlington.
Okay.
Let's take pause.
Okay.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Go ahead.
Good evening.
Thank you. Who's here, please? Who's on the line? This is who?
LP Aubrey Texas.
Which one is LP Audrey Texas? Why are you giving their names?
Aubrey Texas.
Which one is Aubrey again?
That's his name.
It's in Texas. Do people know all the cities and states? The cities in Nigeria.
Your contribution very quickly, sharp.
If I take in what's that states? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So this is the thing. This whole thing about Africans were introduced into a religion that made our own way of worshiping initially that is under the white man's religion that was introduced to Africans. Africans did not start originally with the Bible. They had their own way of worshiping, right? And so the truth is that
Jerry Rollins there was a case in Ghana with 3 individuals about a murder. They murdered somebody, and they said this case was going on and on. They said, no, you want these people. Jerry Rollins said, you want these people to tell the truth. Bring the pot of the way these people worship their local. They have their own local traditions. They brought that pot. All of them started speaking the truth. Nobody had nobody could lie anymore. They just started saying, no.
You think that if we swear them in by our traditional deities, they would do better, really. They will uphold their duties more.
Absolutely. Precious, I'll tell you something. A typical African, I don't care where they are on earth, one thing is for sure. If you start talking about go and bringing a pot in a village for them to swear, they'll start telling the truth. And either they refuse to swear on it, or they'll say, oh, I'm not swearing on that thing because it's not my God. But if you know you're more powerful than it and you know nothing will happen to you, go and swear by it. Go and swear by it. It's correct. Let politicians start swearing by where they come from. The gods, the Ogun or whatever. Trust me, nobody will steal money. Nobody. They'll refuse. They'll even refuse. Mr. Darlington just said it's the only time when Babalawo will take power, then before that will happen. In this modern day and time, no. It's the religion. The religion that is most prominent in Africa today. Is it by Africans?
Thank you.
It's not by Africans.
Thank you.
It's a foreign religion.
Thank you. We have to run now. Thank you so much.
So is it precious?
All right. Hello. Good evening to you, Mr. Darlington. Sorry. See here. You wrap up your thoughts before we run.
Go
Hello.
ahead.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, please. Good evening. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What's your name?
For me, yes, I do not want to go the area of deity at all because I like what Mr. Darlington answered the man that maybe is the day Baba Alawo wins a presidential election. That is, he can then be asked to be sworn in with the spirits. However, what I want to let us know is that what we are is the confusion INEC set up emotion. Because what you see today, if INEC had done what they are supposed to do, nobody would have been in the court. By today, there would have been quietness everywhere. By today, we would have moved forward.
By what they are supposed to do, what do you mean exactly? Because they conducted election. Are you saying that if they had uploaded results directly to IREV in real time, everywhere would have been calm? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that he should have done what he promised Nigerians and promised the world in London.
Okay.
Why did he promise it and did not do it? This is what I'm saying. So he set this confusion emotion in Nigeria, and the nation is burning. In other words, look at Lagos. Why should INEC declare result in Lagos where he knows that somebody is deposited in the mortuary? How many people did they expect to be killed before they can annul the election? And that governor is celebrating with his family, dancing, while a family is in trouble. A family has lost maybe a breadwinner just because we conducted election.
Thank you.
It's evil.
Thank you.
How do we think that the elections sorry?
I was saying
how do we think that how do we think that elections will be free and fair in the future when somebody killed in order to be and he is not punished? He is going scot-free. Tell me, will not other people in futures follow suit since somebody who did this was not punished? This is why evil cannot stop in Nigeria. That is what I want to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Yeah.
All right. Hello. Good evening to you.
Canada.
Yeah, I'm picking the call. Hello. Good evening to you. All right. So for some reasons I can't pick the call, but I could just jump on this now. Hello. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. This is Jay from Germany.
Jay, you're welcome. Go ahead, please, Jay.
Okay. My contribution this evening is all about Tinubu. This man we represent, I don't know what they call him, and they like speak from our own segment. So, I don't know why this thing will continue for Nigeria. This man went to the UK for the last time and he started sharing questions for people. And now
would you please help
to...
me speak respectfully, please, just so that you don't get caught off?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, sorry. I think if we have freedom of speech,
you have freedom of speech, but you must use respect. You must use words that are radio friendly, that you like your child to hear and follow suit. Because this is daytime radio.
Oh.
I'm not hushing you, neither am I shushing you.
Okay.
But I hope you understand.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. So the elect send someone to represent it. I don't know if on the inauguration day, if he's going to send someone to represent him as well. And okay, let me just leave his own side. Because at the beginning of this whole go to court. Now these people were in court. And what is it called? Keyamo said something like, now they should not do something or something to the judiciary. So all these things, like for me, I just like the way they do things, just to let other people to shook mouth. And I believe all these judiciaries and lawyers and all, they be listening to all these things. Even if they're not listening to them today, they'll listen to them tomorrow. And they do the right thing to let people know. But I'm against. I can say this is impunity. Like, okay, for example, let me just leave all this one. I'm sorry, I'm using my words. Look at what happened to Ekweremadu. These people, this is building home in abroad, building houses in Nigeria, and right now your daughter is sick. May God heal her. You take your daughter to you came to Nigeria. Just I can say it's force. Take one small boy to UK to harvest in organ into your own daughter, right? Ekweremadu has 2 kidney. His wife has 2 kidney. Why them no fit give their daughter 1 kidney if they no say life no good for the other side? And the time where this man get power to do this or to build hospitals for Nigeria, I believe he's supposed to build this hospital 100%. People will come and say, "Oh, this man has done well." Take. Even if no be big money like that, but you won't do otherwise. They carry and they go in home. See, for me, I'm very, very angry. Why this man not get like 50, 60 years? Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let's rush to other calls. So I see your messages on YouTube, right? Uchenna Abahivia says using African data will not help because the average Nigerian is morally bankrupt. Change starts with me. I do agree with you. Francesca says this lady should allow people speak. OMG with the tired thing.
Oh my God.
Icon. And AB I go read now. Even the one they give me buzz because I'll read it. And AB Baradugo says I'm appealing to all Nigerians. Please stop what? No, they will not stop voting. Kenezike says can't people use certain words because of radio laws and YouTube laws? They should be civil. That's all. Answering Francesca. And then Kizito says the lady is on point. The guy they vex, me too. I they vex too. Say I they vex too. All of us they vex like this. So Pomo could just be civil with our words. Let me just take this last call and I have Mr. Darlington to give us his final thoughts. Hello, good evening to you. Can you help me turn up the volume of your radio set? Good evening.
This is Victor Ikejara talking from Apapa.
Mr. Victor, if you can help us make it in 60 seconds, please. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Yes. I want to buttress the fact that the other caller called to talk about building the hospital. I really appreciate what the guy said. Senator Ekweremadu ought to build a hospital that can facilitate all this equipment to help people of this same ailment that his daughter is involved. If he had done that, I don't think people would be talking of flying down to the UK, flying down to the diaspora, looking for where to get kidney transplant. If he has done well, everybody would have come in, irrespective of who that person is, to donate. And for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he should have appeared in court
if he wants to set a good precedent, if he knows that he is here for the people, he ought to appear in court. Because his appearance in court tells us that he has the mental capacity to defend himself. That is what I have to say.
Thank you so much. All right, this message says, good evening, Miss Precious, Precious, and Mr. Darlington. Only me, one name. He said, truth be told, Miss Precious, I'm not your fan. I'm your biggest supporter in Capital Letter. The first day I watched you on Wazobia TV on your morning show, I instantaneously fell so madly in love with you. And your work is top notch. I love you so much, Miss Precious. My name is Ikenna. Ew!
Ikenna.
Thank God, finally somebody is on my side, not Mr. Darlington's side.
Ikenna.
Your final thought, sharp.
Ikenna.
The person who is taking over is by my side. Yeah,
Ikenna, you fell in love, Abi.
He fell in love.
Now, what Adeboye said, I want to
Mr. Darlington in 60 seconds before you start giving us history.
No, yeah.
Time is ticking.
My listener.
He's finishing your time.
My listener, if I did not tell you history, it's precious. She did not allow me.
It's not me.
Now, listen. Adeboye should realize that he told us something about Buhari. And now he's telling us that God will send Tinubu. He has forgotten that his anointed godson, Oshibajo, contested that primary. Please, he's an elderly person. He has people that are looking up to him. When he continues to misspeak, it doesn't tell good though. Tomorrow now, when something happens, he will tell you that the press misquoted him. As for those who are clamoring that Tinubu has won, no problem. The matter is in court. Let the court decide. And when the court decide, I'm telling you, nobody will go to war. We cannot fight war for anybody. Cure ED. Nobody. Obi cannot mobilize the Igbo to fight for him. It can never happen. And I don't think Atiku is ready to start any war in the north. So I don't know who is going to fight. All these things that they are instigating NBC and all that, I have told them here, it is better to judge than to war. Allow people to speak. There is nothing you will say on radio or television that will cause war in Nigeria. If what these terrorists are doing cannot cause war, I don't know what else will cause war. If what happened in Lagos could not cause war, what else will cause war? So they should allow people to speak their mind. That is all I'm going to say. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening, Lagos. We're on your radio Monday to Friday. Mr. Darlington officially joins me every Monday and Thursday. So the next time he'll be on your radio is on Thursday. So for all those who's been praying that he does join every time, well, he's obliged to join us every Mondays and Thursdays. Thank you, Mr. Darlington.
Thank
you. For
you.
making out time from your busy schedule to always join us every Monday and Thursdays. So Mr. Darlington joins me again on Thursday. My name is Precious, and you remember I do this from Monday to Friday at 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays is from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that's to say that I'll be with you again 7 p.m. tomorrow, Lagos. If you want to join me on social media to know what I'm about, perhaps you want to talk to Mr. Darlington and he doesn't want to, I can connect him to you. Follow me on social media. On Instagram, I am at Precious Enyi Official. I will link you up to him. I'm at Precious Enyi Official on Instagram. Yes. Precious Enyi is put together, right?
She's my account handler.
I'm your account handler. So I'm at Precious Enyi Official on Instagram. On Twitter, I'm at Precious_Enyi. Enyi, by the way, means friend, right? And I'm resolute to being your friend.